4 strings good, 8 strings better. Yes, it's got a ukulele review day again, as ever, back with your summary video review to the full review with the details and the pictures and the scores, which is always linked below. There's some other links down there as well, such as how you can donate to this site to help keep it going, because I don't get sponsored by brands or shops for doing this, and I rely on the kind donations that you're seeing at the bottom there to help keep this site going. And why not think about subscribing to the GotAUkulele YouTube channel if you like what you see. Go and have a look at all the other videos in there and get notifications of new stuff when it comes your way. All right, 8 strings. 8 strings, not 4, 8 strings. I've not reviewed enough 8-string ukuleles really, so it was really nice to see this one come along, and it was really nice to see this come from a brand that I've always enjoyed reviewing. The brand are made in Vietnam, but the company is a UK-based company run by Matt Cohen in Brighton, Worthing, down on the south coast. He used to live over there, and he set up connections with a luthier who builds ukuleles for him under the Noah brand. The name of his son, Noah, that's where the name comes from, and he's got quite a range now, and he's been having them made for quite a few years, and he's really well liked. A lot of people really like his instruments because they are not they're not factory perfect because they're handmade. They kind of show that they've been made by a luthier. They're very, very different, and they're also very, very good value for money. This one is a little bit different because it's an 8-string. I think it's his first or possibly second 8-string, but it's unusual because this is the 8-string concert. Now, there's no reason why you can't have an 8-string concert, but usually you'll see 8-string ukuleles in tenor scale, but this is in concert scale. For those of you who don't understand, an 8-string ukulele doesn't have 8 extra notes to worry about fingering. Basically, it is 8 strings in pairs. So you play 2 together in the same way, so it's the same chord shapes, the same notes, exactly the same, but you play 2 together instead of 1, a bit like a 12-string guitar. We'll come on to how this one's tuned, because there's a variety of tunings for 8 strings a bit further on in the review, but let's have a look at it. Like all Noahs, this is made from all solid woods, tone woods. A beautiful piece of spruce on the top, which has almost got some sort of curl and flame. I'm not going to show you in this light, but you'll see it on the photographs in the review. Down here, there's some, I wouldn't say curl, but certainly flame going on in the nice straight grains. And that is partnered with all solid mahogany, 2 pieces on the sides, 2 pieces on the back, and that back is absolutely beautiful. What a wonderful job of book matching that. I mean, just look at the shimmer on the back of this. Yeah, that's a really nice combination of woods. I really like that. And it's helped by the fact that the decoration is not quite too ostentatious. I don't like abalone soundhole rings, as Matt knows, but he explains to me that they sell, so what do I know? But you get maple binding to the top and the back, and also this black and white purfling strip around the top, and also one around the back edge as well. So that sets it off quite nicely as well. The bridge is a tie bar style, not too big for the top of the body, nice and small, fitted with a straight topped bone saddle. It's made from a hardwood that looks like rosewood, but it's got a Vietnamese name that I am not going to try and pronounce on video. Have a look in the review for what it's called, but it's indistinguishable from rosewood to me. The neck goes in, I think it's 3 pieces. You've got an obvious joint here at the heel, not too obvious, and a very, very well hidden scarf joint up here, which I don't think I can quite show you. No, it's that well hidden. That's actually made of maple, not mahogany. It's a dark maple. It's finished in gloss, which I wouldn't like. The whole body's finished in gloss, but you do get an option with these to have satin, which I think I'd probably prefer, although the gloss is really setting off that back very nicely, isn't it? So anyway, it's a glossed neck. It's pretty nice and pleasingly flattened on the back here, and naturally, because it's got 8 strings, it's going to be wider at the nut. It has to be to accommodate those extra strings. So we go up to a 41mm nut width here, which is pretty chunky, and 35 from the outer G to the outer A string. So nice and roomy, fitted with more of the same Vietnamese hardwood on the fingerboard, which is in really, really nice condition and even in colour. You get 16 frets with 12 to the body, position dots facing out, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th and a double 12th, and you also get side dots. Up to the headstock, beyond that bone nut, it is gone with the slotted headstock which you normally see on 8-string tenors. There's no reason why an 8-string needs to have a slotted headstock, but this does. It's faced in mahogany. I think it looks a bit too big for the instrument. I think a regular headstock with 8 tuners up there would look better, I'm afraid to say. The Noah logo there is inlaid in pearl. Looks a little bit scruffy around the edges, and we'll come on to finishing in a moment. Finished off with these side-mounted, open, unbranded chrome gears with small pearly buttons and a bit of decoration on them. What's really odd about this, I found, is if you have a look, the main gear mechanism here on this side, which is the treble side, are steel, and the gear mechanism here on the bass side are brass. Now, I don't think that's intentional, but there we are. I don't think it's intentional. I've also just noticed as well there is a screw missing out of this one. Okay, that shouldn't be like that either. I'm not going to score it down for that, because that would just simply get changed, or he'd send you the screw, so it's obviously come out in transit. Yeah, I don't know why they're different colours, but there we are. Finishing it off, an 8-string set of strings by GHS. They are black nylon with a wound on the low G, and that brings me on to how these things are tuned, because there's a variety of ways you can tune an 8-string ukulele, and there's no right and wrong way. The way this is tuned is you've got octave pairs for the G and C, that is to say a high G and a low G, a high C and a low C, and then the E and E pairs are tuned in unison, which means they're exactly the same notes, so they're the same. That's just the way they are. I'm not a fan of nylon strings or wound strings, so I would change these, but there's lots of string options out there for 8-string players. Don't know why they went with GHS. It wouldn't be my choice, but that is me, and as you know, I don't mark ukulele scores down for strings because they're easily changed. And that all comes in. Oh, you also get a strap button down there. You also, as with all Noahs, get a pretty decent little padded gig bag to help protect it. And this comes in at £279. That's not a bad price. None of the Noahs are bad prices. It's fair enough, but it is quite a bit more than the standard concert. Spruce top, mahogany back and sides. I know there's more work in putting 8 strings on here, but there isn't that much more work, is there? I mean, that's like, I think it's about 50 quid more. I think that's a little bit too much more. The regular concert is better value. Still, this is good value for what it is. And there we are. Anyway, we need to get on to playing it. Oh, before I come on to that, just finishing, this is put together very well. Noahs over the years have always got a little bit better and better, but you do notice little sort of tooling marks. There were very few on this one. There's a little mark here in the binding. There's a bit of a divot in the top edge here. We've just noticed that odd thing about the tuners being different colours and a screw missing. You know, if you want an absolutely pristine factory instrument, I don't think Noah is for you, but why would you want that? Because they're completely artificial and they feel like they've been made by a robot. These feel like they've been made by a man in a shed, because that's where they've been made. Really tidy inside as well, I didn't mention that. It's light. It's light. It's 680 grams, which isn't too bad. Considering all that extra hardware up there, it's perfectly balanced at the 12th as well, so no complaints. And now, the unenviable task that's going to take ages of checking the tuning on an 8-string. This is the downside to an 8-string. They take ages to restring and they take ages to tune. But I've got a strobe tuner on here to make sure they're all accurately in pairs. So they're the A's. So you can hear these are in unison. And that's the E and the second E. And now we've got the C, which are an octave apart. And the other C. And the low G. And the high G. Now what's the benefit of an 8-string? Basically you play them exactly the same way, but you get a much more richness in tone. As you can hear, it's jangly, like the 12-string guitar is to the 6-string guitar. The volume here, whoa, really good. Really good. And the sustain. Buzzing into my chest. Buzzing isn't the right word, is it? Vibrating into my chest. The sustain is good too. It's pretty, isn't it? Mandolin type sound. Now that's with these octave pairs on the G and C and unison on the E and A. You can tune them different ways to have lower strings on the treble side and higher strings on the bass side. It's up to you. I like that a lot. It's pretty. Don't like GHS strings. Now people say, oh, you can't play finger picking on an 8 string. It's a bit harder. You've got to concentrate a bit more. I really like the sound of that. That's pretty peppy, bouncy and jangly. If you don't like the sound of that sort of shimmery 8-string sound, you're never going to buy an 8-string ukulele, so I'm not going to convince you. But if you're looking for something different, and there's no doubt there are some songs where an 8-string sounds absolutely fantastic, jangly sort of folky songs and that sort of a lot of country stuff works well with an 8-string. It works really well, and it's a really nice one. I used to play in a band, and one of our members had an 8-string, and there were certain songs we played that would not have worked without the 8-string ukulele playing on it, because it really suited the songs. That's what these are for. The build is very good. The price is very good. I would change the strings, 1 or 2 little foibles with the finish and the tuners, but they're not life and death. They're really not, and it's 279 quid. It's another really nice little instrument from Noah and Matt Cohen, and nice to see an 8-string concert, which you don't see as often. They do exist. You could change these strings for whatever tuning you like. You could have all unison if you wanted. You could have all octave pairs. The choice is yours. It's set up to go. It is a really nice sound, isn't it? The Noah 8-string concert, all solid tone woods, solid spruce, wonderful solid mahogany book match back. I really love that back. 279, made in Vietnam, UK company, and are available worldwide. People don't seem to realise. Okay, back next week. The reviews continue apace. I was supposed to be slowing down, but the calendar is crazy. I will see you very soon. Do take care of yourselves still. Hope you stay well. See you very soon. Bye-bye.